Welcome back to Devil's Details Diecast Gaslands series. This is a Matchbox off-road rider that I picked up at a flea market along with a bunch of other cars. Thought it'd make a cool little Gaslands vehicle. Not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but you can be rest assured that it will be some kind of monster when it's finished. It's got a nice suspension there. It's a single rider, so maybe he's out scavenging the desert or something along those lines. So stick around and see what we come up with. Alright, so I apologize that I'm not the best at updates, but here's the update on the Gaslands build. I just get building and then, forget to video. So we got some bad exhaust on the engine there, some flip up windows. This is going to be a Scout car. Of course, this is all pre-paint. Found this little pair of binoculars with my minifigures, so I wired that up basically to look like a maybe as a monitor inside, so you can scout. This is the way the driver gets in. Obviously the other side is caged. Not really doing any weapons on this car, only because we're going to rely on speed. A little flipped over winch with some lights from, I have no idea what truck that was from, but this thing is such a mishmash of parts. Did a little bit of detailing so far on the bottom. Such a mishmash of parts, I couldn't really chronicle everything, but that's just aluminum tubing on the front, just some wire mesh from the dollar store. It's also going to have a spare tire on the back. I drilled out a cheapo Matchbox tire. That's going to sit up here with some chains once I get some chain. So basically this car is going to rely on speed and not defense or offense. The driver will, in theory, have some weapons on him in case he does get intercepted, but he does have some good armor going on in this thing, and he'll speed away from anything, hopefully. But that's it before it goes to paint, so I just wanted to give you guys an update. And if you remember, this is what we started out with, a Matchbox off-road rider, flea market find in this bright white with rusty kind of looking wheels. And here's what we ended up with. And there you have it, folks, the newest addition to my Gaslands builds. This is what I'm calling Scout. Like I said a little bit earlier, not heavily armed, because it's relying on its speed to get to where it needs, and the driver is armed, so that's why we have some heavy armor on this vehicle here. Little flip-up windows will allow him to see better. That's the entryway, obviously. For the driver, a little winch on the back, some spotlights, got some mesh on all the windows, some badass exhaust pipes, and antenna for corresponding back to base. I didn't do the spare tire on the back. It was just getting too crowded, so I figured I would save that for another build. As you can see on top, a little bit of fun with it, with those binoculars. Obviously, we would never have giant binoculars like that, but I have seen some pretty big ones on like lighthouses and stuff. So after all, these are cars. So, and they're toys. So I took a little bit of liberty there. I just thought it would be kind of cool. Let me get some extra light here, see if we can get some details. Everything got primered in black, and then just hit it with some rust paint colors, some rusting powders, a little bit of silver highlights here and there. The flaps on the windows are actual aluminum. So I just took my X-Acto and just kind of made some scratches on those. That came out pretty cool. Mostly all one figure. I'm sorry, one figure. Mostly all one car, with the exception of that back piece right there. That's a bumper assembly. I'm not sure where that came from, but it actually fit a hole that was in it pretty perfectly. So I was pretty psyched about that. But yeah, so here it is. This is the Scout Gaslands car. A little bit of a skull on there as well, because you always got to have a skull with Gaslands. And hope you enjoyed it. Take care.